Gentlemen, here we are, we're back in a flash. Kaboom! We are ready for part two of the series of the back. I'm going to say it one last fucking time. If you would like 6 months free membership of the Square Club, this is your last chance to put the name in the tub, and you can be enjoying free tea and coffee. Oh, here we go. Oh, lucky. And that's quite a big ticket there, isn't it? So that's kind of, you kind of sort of hacked the system there on a ginormous ticket. No, I don't know. We have to find something to do, because we have to do the draw tonight. Oh, here they come. We need someone to do the draw. So I think the O'Brien draw. So I'll be looking for someone to pull out that. Because to be honest, that will be the sort of the cherry on the top of what have been quite a big cakes this evening. I think you'll all agree. Well, I don't agree with myself. Anyway, enough's enough. Right, we're on to part two. 2 speakers in this half left. We've got Charles on in a minute, and I want to give a massive round of applause because Charles is one of those brave souls. I'm not saying Bristol's like a place to come out to, but he has come all the way from London today, haven't you? Driven down, and probably even more amazing than that, he's going to stay at my house tonight. What a laugh! So then he's getting up with us at 5 AM tomorrow to go to the BBC. I joined this just for shits and giggles. So come on, we'll just stay up all night. I think that's what we'll do. We'll have some AI cocktails with Seb, and away we go. Got 3 sheets to the wind. So Charles and then Luke. So prepare your hands again, because Charles is going to come up and speak and talk good stuff. So if you give her a large round of applause, maybe even a giddy hurrah, maybe. It's Charles Cadbury has come to the stage. Thank you very much.
Good evening. Now, talking a little bit about humans earlier, I'd like a show of hands if anyone thinks they've been stressed at all. There's some solace to understand that you are not alone. Now, we know that 85% of people identify with being stressed every now and again. We also know that mindfulness has become a go-to cure for stressed people. But people tend to find they don't have time for mindfulness. So I've been working with a team over the last year to create a cure or something to help. And this is called the moment pen. You keep it in your pocket, and then a couple of times a day you take it out, and it beats twice to show you a moment has begun. And over the next 30 seconds, it takes you on a light guided mindful breathing exercise. After that 30 seconds, you put it back in your pocket and you carry on with your day. Now, these little moments reduce the stress during your day. This has been scientifically proven and backed by doctors on our advisory board. We are going live on Kickstarter on Tuesday. This isn't why I'm here, but this is I haven't told, of course, this is a shameless plug. So please get your phones out of your pocket. Please buy a Padwall Tuesday. And on with the show, Moment Padwall. Thank you. So since the dawn of time, this is all about communication. Since the dawn of time, us as humans have constantly evolved the way that we communicate. And it's an understanding of this constant evolution in communication, understanding what's next, which we all need to kind of bring to force when we're thinking about these kind of new interfaces. Now, I've not met many of you in the room before, so 2 minutes, 1 minute, 20 seconds on me. So I've been a career technologist. I started my first website in 1999, set up a software business in 2005, built that from a team-man to 45-man team, built about 350 digital products. In 2005-06, we were always looking on the front end of things. 2005-07, we were building websites. 2007-08, we were building social applications, so the retained agency for Samsung, all of their Facebook apps, which were big at the time. Then 2009-10 started building mobile phone applications. But we're not talking about any of this. My voice journey started in 2015. Was working with an enterprise travel software business, and we were looking at how people were going to book an airline ticket in a 5 to 10 year horizon. So Alexa had recently launched. So the first proof of concept we built was how you could book an airline ticket using Alexa. So we can plug into the APIs of the airline system, prove that out. but that never went live. And I think what I want to talk about this evening is the business models that we've tried and seen work and not work over the last few years, and how you can think about building businesses or business cases around Box. So this gave Logotech, the company we're working with, an appetite to build their own products. So in a bar in Broadway Market in late 2016, we came up with the idea for Dazzle, which was a concierge system for hotels. In essence, we put Alexas in the rooms of Marriott hotels. So we, in 3 months, we're going to build this system. We're live in 10 rooms in the Marriott Hotel County Hall. So that you could go into your room and say, Alexa, can you send me a new bathrobe or a new pair of slippers? That would then fire up a tablet that was sat next to the concierge, and then they would then go and deliver that to your room. After the first month of testing, we realised that what was actually happening was people going in their room and they're saying, Dazzle, can you send us a bathrobe? And then they were picking up the phone in the room and saying, did you get that request? Which nullified the whole system. So very soon after that, you'll see here that we then built in a feedback loop on Facebook Messenger. So that you'd say, Alexa, can you send me a bathrobe? And then the phone would buzz in your pocket saying, we received this request. It would then go and you then know that was on its way. So this is really good. So it allowed the hotel to communicate with you outside the room. This is great because Marriott wanted to change the perception of being a business hotel and appeal to millennials around the world. Very, very hard to roll out, but we then found out that Marriott had pushed this all through their marketing department. This was all just a big marketing reach. And I think they got a huge amount of exposure from us doing this with them. They played a real blinder because they understood the Gartner hype cycle. Now, could you put your hands in the air if you do know the Gartner hype cycle? There are more that don't than do. So just quickly, what usually happens is we have some kind of innovation. So we find something new that we can do with the world, and then marketing and sales get hold of it. And they tell the world it's going to be amazing. And then when you get your first taste of this new innovation, it's not amazing. And so there's this kind of shot of disillusionment there. Kind of, I believe right now we are kind of here, either coming down or just learning how to build on the promise of what these technologies can do. But in 2016, Marriott knew we were up here. They told the world, and we helped them show what the art of the possible was. They got tens of millions of hits from all the PR they put off around the system, and then they didn't roll it out. What they did in the background is work with Amazon to launch Amazon for hospitality. So whilst we were going and trying to sell this platform to many other hotel groups, we had some mediocre success. Amazon then came along and killed our business model, which was terribly upsetting. So what we did then, with some of the backers, we then moved into trains. And so what we found was in the UK, there's 27 rail franchises run by 5 major groups. I can tell you an awful lot of stuff about trains, which I won't be taking forward in my life. But the problem being is that these rail franchises are given out to companies that can operate trains, and more so can operate trains and deliver a good customer experience. So there's a big compelling reason for rail companies to improve the customer experience, and more go this whole kind of look after the first and last mile. People don't go on trains to go to train stations, they go on trains to go to somewhere in the destination city. So the proposition here was very much to use a conversational platform, so you bring that knowledge forward about it not just being voice, it being a multimodal conversational system, so that you could integrate that with many, many different systems within the journey. So from integrating car parking, so there's car parking at the station, taxis to the station, helping you through services whilst you're on the train. And then when you get off at the other end, building this ancillary revenue modelling. I think this is what was really appealing to these very low margin businesses, is building this kind of ancillary revenue on top makes us a very viable proposition. What we didn't know is that the sales cycle for the rail industry is about 18 months. And so we ran out of runway before we could really get to sales. So myself and the VP of products on the Dazzle platform went off and we set up Say It Now. Dazzle It's still plugging away. So within Say It Now, we took this kind of relatively mature knowledge and started to look at how we could apply this to building platforms of experience. We've done an awful lot on the chatbot side, but we're focusing on voice today. So one of the things we've been doing before Christmas, this is not before Christmas, it's just been updated as of lunchtime today. There's some more noises. So this is replicating the experience of you going to the Isle of Skye and standing in front of the chief distiller there. So you take this the dram, and then she talks you through the tasting experience, those tasting notes. And although this is obviously a wonderful experience, a great use of voice, well, the business case behind this is all about value-added retail. So what Diageo want to do is they want to prove that by putting this label on top of the box, that increases the propensity for you to buy that box. Now, you know that you're really, really into voice, so that if you were going to go to a supermarket and have a look at all the whiskies on the shelf, if one had a label on saying this comes free with a tasting experience powered by Alexa, that would actually increase your propensity to buy that as a gift. And that's a really, really, really interesting space of how you can look at this voice channel as adding another layer of experience in retail space. So, over this last 4 years or so, what have we learned along the way? So, we've learned that it's not really all about voice. So, we believe that the innovation is very much this architecture about how we approach the world. So, it's all about, for us, natural language understanding. That's the big innovation. Chatbots, voice are just another endpoint. And so, if we were going to, you and me, create some kind of relationship between us, it may be voice this evening, I may text you later, it may take on other channels, but we want to carry that persistent conversation through and answer on any of those channels with some kind of understanding of context and about what's happened before. So this is kind of nirvana where we're trying to get to, and how we're trying to create these really valuable conversational experiences between brand and customer. It all starts, as been said a few times this evening, with this kind of this beautiful handshake. This guy, Sina, also in the industry here, he talks about the first date. The first time you have this first experience, it's got to work. If you ask a question, you have to be responded with the right answer, and that will give you the confidence to go back and have that enjoyable experience. We've been hiring screenwriters and copywriters to keep this conversation delightful. The minute people are coming back, then you can build this personalization, this context into the conversation, and with a layer of kind of conversation comes increased trust, and then people are going to come back and they're going to get more and more utility at each point. And thirdly, if you have a trusted and personalized conversation back and forth, like any good kind of salesperson will tell you, the referral always gets the deal. So, it's this idea of this trusted, personalized conversation, you're then able to deliver offers and activate that relationship. So this is definitely coming. This is one of the reasons, one of my favourite slides about the market. This is what we call the Billion User Club. All of these big guys are investing billions and billions of dollars, putting their assistants first. You know these assistants, and they're trying to get you to use them more and more, because they know that if you can use these more and more, they'll be able to deliver on that 3-point nirvana, and they'll be able to help sway you in terms of your buying decisions, and that's a very valuable place to be. Bill Gates, really understands the Gartner hype cycle. So he very famously says that people tend to overestimate the change that technology can make in the short term, and underestimate the change that technology can make in the longer term. And it was really interesting to see when Google put the last hardware update out recently. They included this, which was a wireless charging unit, which in its own doesn't sound too bizarre. However, the charging unit is upright, meaning that when it's charging, it displays this "Hi, can I help you?" and it no longer looks like a phone. It looks a little bit more like a smart speaker. So you start to talk to your phone like you talk to your smart speakers. The difference being is that you then put it in your pocket and take it away with you, and you continue that behavior. You continue to talk to your phone like it's your smart speaker, so it will be always with you. It's moving, just gently shifting, nudging that behavior, so you're going to be assistant first, and they can then control that. So, where are we? Everyone in this room should have some kind of interest in voice, otherwise you're in the wrong room. Now, we know that right now, there's only a very small number of conversational practitioners. we're all conversational practitioners, and there's a huge amount of opportunity. We know that Samsung have publicly said that by 2020, every single one of the 100 million devices that they ship on an annual basis will be voice enabled. So this is definitely coming, and we can't do this or take advantage of the opportunity alone. I firmly believe that we must do it together. So, so this is all about creating a trusted network, finding people and collaborations that that can really kind of bring this forward. We are very open and keen to do this. This is why I said yes, because I'm trying to meet more of you and deepen these relationships. That's why I'm trying to foster. So that's it. Thank you very much.
Charles Cameron, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to just look at Luke. I want to talk about Charles a little bit, actually, but I'm going to look at Luke because I've got no idea how Luke's presenting, to be honest. Are you sliding or what are you watching? Where are your slides?
I need to log in.
Oh, well, go for it. Kerry, I'm calling you over. So, well, no, I don't know. I don't know what he's going to do. Right, that was Charles. And as you said, Charles has come down for the night, so you're not going anywhere after this event, are you? Because you're coming home with me. That sounds wrong. But I will say, I have sorry?
Oh, wait.
Okay. I have purple pillows, so it's all fine. I don't think we'll do that draw yet, because that would be foolish now. I thought, oh, we might do the one before the last speaker, but we should save it to the end, because that means you'll all have to stay, because you'll all want to know if you've been on with it tonight, won't you? Right, so are you ready to roll, Luke?
I am. Just need to log into my slides on Chrome.
Well, that's why I'm calling you over, Kerry Harrison. You see, there's method in my madness. There is method in it's your computer. There's a little voice in my head. I've missed the moment now because Charles came all the way down. These talks, they've been fabulous. I've always wanted to say this. It's the only time I'm ever going to get to say this in front of an audience. I bet he fucking gets this all the time. I bet he hates it. That talk, ladies and gentlemen, was full of cat goodness, wasn't it? Is that our first time?
First time, yeah, no, yeah.
Yay! Yeah, it's the first time in Bristol at the Square Club. So that's the win. The lights went down there, but it's a little bit of ambient mood. Like I say, Bradford on Avon, you're more than welcome to come along. It's going to be the 8th of May. It's going to be it's just a medieval fun. If it was really cool, we could actually all dress up in medieval outfits. I could be like a jester outfit maybe, although I actually think a big set of armour. Oh yeah, that's right. That's the other thing. Don't forget that. Not only do you get 4 great speakers in a medieval tie fun with Bradford on Avon, right? This is an absolute truth, and I'm not stringing it along because Kerry's logging in for Luke's thing. This is true, right? But when we did this talk last time, there, the person who hosted us had to tell us that their husband is like a horror, writes horror fiction. Okay, that's quite interesting. And she said he does a ghost tour of Bradford on Avon, right? Oh, okay, really? Is there enough ghosts in Bradford on Avon to constitute a ghost tour? He only does it in the summer, which seemed a weird time to do a ghost tour because I would have thought you wanted dark, really. But hey, anyway, the point was there's 2 things about this ghost tour, right? And he's very kindly offered after the I'll be back. So imagine you've had a whole fucking shed load of knowledge put in your head, you're inspired by all the great talks you've heard. But then afterwards, this guy is going to take everyone who wants to come along on a ghost tour of Bradford on Avon, right? The really weird thing about it, right, is his name is Jasper, right? You know, there's Casper the Ghost, isn't there, right? And I happened to say, oh, look, he's Jasper the Ghost Hunter. And it was like, they'd never heard that before ever. And they were like, what do you mean? You know, like Casper the Ghost, Jasper the Ghost Hunter. That's funny, isn't it? And they're like, I don't know what you're talking about, mate, right? Really awkward. But the one thing that makes this ghost tour, I don't know if has anybody ever been on a ghost tour? I mean, ghosts don't even exist. It's a complete fucking nonsense. But just play along with them, right? There we go. He's out there second, right? The one thing that he did sell me on this, and this is why we are having a ghost tour after the I'll be back 8th of May, is because he said what makes his ghost tour unique is he's got a modern ghost, right? Because they're normally, aren't they? 18th century ghosts, Victoria. He has got a modern ghost. And I was like, what do you mean by that? He said, this person is a ghost, but they only died in 2006, right? And apparently they float above the River Avon on a misty night. And so, I mean, come on. So if you come to Bradford on Avon, if you want to, have a fucking minibus. So we'll do something. But I wouldn't even bother coming to the after back. I'd just chug along at the end and come on the ghost tour. That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? Jasper the Ghost Hunter. Anyway, that's enough of my We've done it. Luke's in. So I'd like to give a big hand of applause. You come, well, you were from Brighton, weren't you? And now you've come to the Southwest. Yeah, so Luke's here. So can you give him a big round of applause? Our last speaker of the night, Luke Sheehan. Here he comes. Thank you very much.
I'm a bit nervous. I've never actually given a talk before. And obviously, I haven't written PowerPoint presentations when I was at school. I did get that font after looking. Right, so I call this My Subject of Enlightenment. Trying to think about what to talk about because my journey with voice is quite short. It's only been about 6 months. I'm from marketing background, SEO, PPC, and then more moved into Facebook ads, chatbots. So where it all began, in November 2018, I gave myself a 24-hour challenge when I actually bought Alexa during the Black Friday deal. So I thought, well, I might as well get them now. And I foolishly thought I could build a skill within 24 hours. I stayed awake for 28 hours. And that's how I looked. My friend came around and said, you need to go to bed. I don't know what we're having. Then fortunately, an unfortunate thing happened. It would be an unfortunate thing to most people, but they lost my echo. It actually arrived 8 days late. So I ended up, it gave me some time, I actually ended up building 3 skills. The first one was affirmation memes, because affirmations piss me off. Cannabis facts, I know what you're thinking, but I had my marketing head on and I thought, right, okay, what's an emerging market? And if he's not there, and I built CBD facts as well. Again, no one else had built them. So I got the bug at that point. I ended up just trying to build just anything. I came up with some of the ideas that are still in production include Trump or false, which I'm not sure I can really do it yet, but one of the things I created was a time-stamping skill creatively called My Stuff. Basically what happened was my housemate went away for 3 months and he said, among other things, Luke, can you make sure you water the plants every 4 to 5 days? I said I didn't really have plants. And I'm a really forgetful person, so I basically created a time-stamping skill so I could ask him, I could say, right, I bought the plants, and then I can ask him if I need to. And those are the plants I took 3 days ago to send to the housemate. I've moved them in one place and they're all still alive. Now, this was my masterpiece. This is another thing that I built. So I've got a 3-year-old child, and trying to reason with him is just infuriating. You effectively can't win. So I thought, how can I use Alexa to help me? So this is what I built. So essentially, say, Alexa, ask, should my child eat this piece? But it could be anything. Tidy the bedroom. What is the child's name? It replies. I say Theo. So it says, so you're about to decide if Theo should eat the piece. You say yes. Let me think. Robot sounds. Full disclosure, it always says this. I've got 5 different variations. One of them is I've determined that Theo should eat his peas. I thought I'd solved. I just thought it was going to be perfect. So I tried it out with Theo. When going through it, his eyes were amazed, especially with the robot sounds. Sadly, and I quote, he said, he turned very angry and said, "You are not my robot. Get out of my house." I do not like it. So version 2 is on the way. That I'm going to incorporate consequences if he says no, such as no TV or chocolate. So the lessons that I learned, basically, so the way that I like to think is think about everyday problems that voice can solve. It's still an everyday problem and I will solve it. Simple ideas can often be the most effective. So for me, time stamping skills, and actually, I used to use it for when I'm taking my antibiotics, and the only other thing I use it for is whenever I have a takeaway. So I try to keep it to all rules, so sometimes I ask when the last time I had a takeaway was. Even though I already know. And also, you probably won't get it right first time, and I will get shit my child right. So what is Central Digital? So this is the question that no one's asking. This is something that I've kind of created, and I found a lot of the podcasts that are on tuning weren't available, so I like to listen to UKF and Noisia. So I built my own using the RSS feeds. So since Digital was essentially born, I realised that a lot of my friends are musicians. I know quite a few sort of indie labels, and how I could use their SoundCloud RSS feed to make a whole multimodal skill. So basically, they don't have to do anything. They are very lazy. They still call it voice activation, but it just gives them a very simple way that they can upload their own content, not have to worry, and still be able to see analytics. As I said, it's an emerging way to get on the platform, grow their audience, and also I think within skill purchasing, I think when it gets brought to the UK, once you've listened to a piece of music, let's say that you've listened to this artist 3 times, having that kind of, would you like to buy this for 79p? If you're in the moment, all you have to do is say yes. It's just quite scary. I think it's going to be really beneficial to independent artists, which is going to be soon. So just before I go into my light bulb moments, I ended up meeting Craig. We met, I think it was like a pub at Highbridge in the morning. She was supposed to be an hour meeting. It ended up being 3 hours, and being in Taunton, he was the first person I could actually talk to about this that didn't think I was a mental case. Getting really passionate about it. So then I started working with Craig. So my first light bulb moment actually came when, so a virtual assistant is not there to just take money to talk for assistance. So this was over Christmas. I was talking to my best friend's parents, who were basically saying, what are you doing with your life? Why are you spending so much time with this virtual girlfriend? And I said that, it's going to be the next big thing and everything like that. And Georgia said, oh, you can buy plane tickets on it. And I said, actually, that's not necessarily the case. I think what's going to be more useful is before you decide on when you're going to go, let's say that we're having a conversation at the table, you can say, oh, yeah, let's go to Gambia. Oh, Alexa, when, what's the average price of a flight between London to Gambia between X days? And then give you that information back. I think that's where it's going to be more important, and it's more going to feed into this part of the funnel. Rather than whilst we have got conversion now, I do believe that if we focus on sort of consideration and start pushing people down into the funnel and giving them the answers that they want when they want it, I think that's going to be really important. Light bulb moment 2. Public perception is very different for each platform. This actually came from a conversation that I was having with my friend in the pub, who I can only describe him really as a conspiracy theorist, even though he wouldn't describe himself as that. He spent about 10 minutes explaining how Alexa was going to take over the world, and that I was part of the problem, and I should be part of the solution. And then within 10 minutes, he got out his phone and searched on Google Assistant, and it just kind of blew my mind that actually that he didn't kind of realise that they're almost the same thing. So that kind of got me thinking. This is just kind of a theory of mine. I think that Alexa is perceived as the fun and engaging one, but it's seen in a completely different way to, let's say, Google. So, for instance, we probably wouldn't necessarily ask Alexa what time a barber's open. We'd probably more likely to Google on the phone assistant. And then Facebook, I think they're going, well, I know they must be doing something. The way that I see it is that they're going to be social when they want to build a massive messenger platform. between WhatsApp, Instagram, and Facebook, I have a feeling that sort of in the next couple of years, that we might have one single smart device. We might be playing a game on Alexa, and we'll get a high score, and then we'll be asking Facebook to share it to different platforms. And might be wrong, it's just a theory. And then Apple, who knows? They've kind of got a habit of seeing what everyone else does and then doing their stuff as well. Again, this is just a theory. Don't prove me wrong. Like on moment 3, so voice has its limitations. I was thinking about this, but it does open up a lot of opportunities. When you think about typical search or anything we do online visually, we do one thing, and there's so much information that's sent back to us. There should really be more lines there. So I kind of think of it like a motorway. Not a great motorway because obviously one side's one way. But a lot of stuff's coming the other way. But then when we think about voice search, it literally is more like a little lane or a B run. It's a two-way. You know, you say something, it'll say it back. There's nothing visual there. It's just all audio. So understanding that limitation kind of made me think about the simple and complex contradiction and how I'm going to start, or how I sort of see how we can utilise voice. So make complex simple and simple complicated. This was actually spawned from a conversation that I had with the marketing director of a lens company. She was saying that I don't know how voice can actually be integrated in our lenses or how it can be used. I said, well, they've already got some kind of Wi-Fi integrated into their lenses because they can send pictures directly to Photoshop and for their teams. So I said, why not be able to use voice to sort of kind of alter the different settings on the camera without actually leaving the shot. So you can group settings, so a certain group people have group preferences. You can create your own preferences. So as a photographer, you've got your own style of photos and flip between them just using simple voice commands. And then on the flip side, you can use simple voice commands to actually affect lots of different settings. So for instance, whilst it could just be a single switch, it's mainly the hardware. With a simple switch, let's say a zoom function, you can actually use voice to create commands that can even sort of further into sentences and zoom for the best example, but other simple switches. So in conclusion, simple ideas can often be the most successful ones to understand, for instance, what this was for me, but they can always be built upon. You probably won't get it right the first time, but you always want to take the risk when there is the least at stake. I really like this because I saw Mark Cuban said this during the Alexa interview, and I think he's really right. He's basically saying is, now's the time to get involved because the expectation is low. So build a skill now when people's expectations are quite low, and then you can always build upon that rather than in a couple of years' time when everyone's jumping on board, expectations high. You can build the same thing, but just like we've seen before. And then again, make the complex simple and the simple complex. Maybe I haven't quite explained that as well as I probably could. I think going back to the simple complex, which was something that Craig told me about, how they were using HoloLenses. I can't remember who was the car manufacturer. There was a car manufacturer. They were using the HoloLenses, have a look at machines, and they could actually see the schematics overlaid onto that. And they said one of the problems was the zoom functionality, so using the zoom in and zoom out, or different things that they wanted to do with the hardware side of buttons and things like that. It's actually quite difficult. So using voice, you can actually take over that functionality and create something a lot more specific. So yeah. So again, we are on the slope of enlightenment, And here is the Gartner Hype Cycle again. And to be honest, this is just away from the studio. So yeah, that's my talk.
That's Luca. We'll give him another round.